Well, it's Joyful Mondays, and I can only say greetings and hello and welcome always. Always good to see you here. I am Joy Ruffin, and my work is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And it goes on and on and on. And the beginning of every Joyful Monday, welcome. I'm going to be starting out with you with some good style tips, because that's what we're all about here. Signature style and stamp, how you stamp it to you. Tomorrow's a big day for everyone here in the US of A. And I hope that all of you who haven't voted, and I'm one of them, will be voting tomorrow as soon as you can. And I know that you will. Friends, my title today is, what does presence mean to you? And how do we measure it? I have something here that's really quite neat, because the truth is, presence isn't about your look. It's about your essence. It's about your head to toe, inside out feeling, and how you listen, speak, and tune in to others. Does it leave an impression, or does it fall flat? Know thyself might be very ancient, but it still holds sway today. Maybe I should say swag. I do have a sense of humor. Most of you know by now that my love for quotes is never ending. So I have a few here that I'd like to share with you. And they're quite apropos, so to speak. Leadership, which is where a good signature style begins, it's about making others better as a result of your presence, and making sure that the impact that you leave is lasting in your absence. You know who said that? Maybe some of you have forgotten, because boy, has Facebook changed over the years. But that was Sheryl Sandberg. And she had that to say, and I think that's very impactful. And for those of you who don't know, it's all about here, Joyful Monday and Leading Ladies. It's about the divine feminine. It's about equality, and it's about power, whatever and however you put those together under your umbrella, because it's all about you and your presence. So what is an executive presence? What is that? Well, here are the 6 keys, and I think they're very potent. It's your behavior. It's how you listen. It's your emotional control. It's your appearance, your image. It's your energy and your resiliency, how you bounce back. And boy, did I have my lesson today. And it's how you do, as somebody said a long time ago. I'm not going to mention the name, even though I don't have to edify him. He said, do the right thing. Just do the right thing, whatever that means to you. That was said by someone that I'm not familiar with, but I love to edify people. TKAHLER coaching comes from a site. I go and navigate through this, that, and the other. Our presence, my friends, you know this, it is the essence of all of our power. Your intelligence, your body, your beauty, your looks, your shape, and all of that, it matters, but not so much in the context that we're taking it in today. The beauty industry, the fashion industry, one and the same, kind of aligned. The entertainment industry, and the communications industry. I love them all. And I'm saying this in love, because we've all dropped the ball. And we have to go back to the basics. They're warped. And especially when it comes to women and style and your image and your presence and how you show up. Old school, old fashioned back in the day, it doesn't have to be. It can be more than that. This is the Insta society. And so what does that mean? It means like gratification. Boom, right away. The time to read, to study, to really absorb, embody what is coming to us. It gets harder because of this beautiful new technology. But where is the cutoff? And especially when it comes to how you're showing up. How many times have you been out, my friends? By the way, I have a new title. I'm going to share it with you, because I'll be using it everywhere now going forward. People sometimes say to me, Joy, you're kind of a little bit of a preacher in you. Well, I'm not a priest, a preacher, or a pastor. I like alliteration, and all the others, or reverend, or none of those. But I am the minister of and for enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings. And my golly gee, no judgment, none whatsoever. Been there, still there. We as women, especially, have to really be, or we're invited to be more in tune with our innate divine given power, because it's there. How we showcase it is what we have to be more about. And friends, those of you, I'm going to be the one who's the messenger as we go forward here. But I need to share with you that I need you to join, to connect. I need your message and mission. So I just want you to be aware of that, because there's so much to getting attention today, especially on the social media platforms. But how are we doing it? How are we getting that instant gratification? That's a big question. And I'm going to leave you for that. You know that I love food for thought. Yes, think. Twirl it up there and let it come to you. Let me end with this. Having a strong presence piques interest. It draws people towards you. It provides the prospect of widening your circle, your environment, and building the community that you want. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. There's so much more here, but I want you just to remember. Oh, my friend said to me, Joy, just say all the time, you're invited to remember this. Don't we, most of us have a tendency, many of us, to say, I want you to, you have to. No, you don't have to do anything. It's just because I want you to do doesn't mean a darn thing. But I am inviting you to be a little bit more, maybe. Think. Food for thought, one of my many favorite expressions. Just give it some thought. I'm going to take a quick little reset here, and I'm going to do what I always do with you, invite you to join my Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies Facebook group. We need you there. We want you there. We're building a community, just as my featured guest speaker is going to share with you a little bit later, the community that she's a part of now. You are asked to connect with us because your vision, your mission, and your purpose, it matters. And there's so many ways that you can do this. Take a screenshot, take a snapshot, and then in turn, as soon as you can, come aboard. We need you. We need all the women who are in leadership. I like to say the light workers, the light keepers, the light workers and the gatekeepers and the star seeds, and there's so many other names. Does it matter? You're in leadership. And that's what we're going to be talking a lot about today. I'm going to ask my engineer to put up the graphic for my featured guest speaker today. This is a group and an association. It happens to be in this community that I'm in, the beautiful, lovely Port St. Lucie. But this is a group that expands way beyond that, because what they're about is something that you need to be, that we hope you'll be aware of as we end here today, because women are stronger together. And remember that when we put it up the next time around, to take a good screenshot or a snapshot so that you can have the information that will be scrolling across. Now, let me just share with you a little bit about my featured guest speaker today. Her name is Janet, and I have a hard time with last names, but I think she gave it to me the right way. Maffucci, Janet Maffucci. And Janet is a Brooklyn girl, moved to the Westchester area and then to New York, married her childhood sweetheart, and so on and so forth. But here's the important thing. She was an elementary school teacher. Now, those of you who don't know, I love school teachers. That's another conversation, but I do, an elementary school teacher. And in conjunction with that, she has been a tutor in the Learn to Read program. How can you not celebrate that? Today, though, for the past 14 years, she has been involved with the group that we're going to be talking a lot about today. I love the name, Impact 100. That's in Port St. Lucie. So I'm going to ask you just to do what I always do, my friends. Sit back, relax, get comfortable, and help me welcome our featured guest speaker, Janet Maffucci. Janet. Hello, Janet. How are you?
Hi, Joy. Nice to be here. Thank you so much for inviting.
Oh, well, it's good to have you here. I'm really eager to meet you. I met one of your members several years ago who intrigued me with all the work that you're doing and what you do with Impact 100. So tell us, Janet, your background is fascinating. I don't think you knew, because I never shared with you how I love teachers. I had some of the best teachers back in the day. I'm old-fashioned back in the day. all of that. But yet the teachers I remember fondly. I don't remember their names, but I remember a lot of what they shared with me. So I have this love for teachers. But what is Impact 100? What is it?
Okay, well, Impact 100 is actually a national program. There are over 70 chapters in the United States, and there are, I think, 8 chapters overseas as well. And what we try to do is a group of women who want to improve the life of the underserved in their community. So we focus on St. Lucie County. We have 96 members currently. It's Impact 100 because we're supposed to have 100 members and give out a $100,000 grant. This year we had 96 members, and we gave out a $96,000 grant just 2 days ago. And what we do is we gather the money together, and then we solicit from nonprofits, local nonprofits. We solicit applications for programs that they want to start in St. Lucie County. And there's a very strong vetting process that goes on. We have a grant review committee that goes through the letters of intent first, then the applications. We wean the applications down to a smaller number of semifinalists. We do site visits at each of the semifinalists, and then we come together and we decide on our 3 finalists. And then we have our celebration and give out the money.
Hey, it sounds exciting. Janet, do you have any other tabs open on your desktop? Because we're getting some weird sounds coming through. But listen, I love that information that you shared with us. And I like what you said, Impact 100. You look for 100 members and you have 96 now. What happens when you go over 100? But that's another question. I have a sense of humor. But I love that you're giving out this grant for 100,000. Tell us a little bit more about that and a brief history of more of what you do and how you do it.
Well, we started actually in 2018. And 2019, we gave out our first grant. We had 121 members at the time. So we gave out a $100,000 grant, and then the 2 other finalists got $10,000, $10,500 each. After COVID, we did lose a number of members who could not afford to join us. They had lost jobs, had hours cut back, were supporting family members. So in 2021, we were down to 70 members, and we've increased a little bit each year. Last year, we were at 81 members. This year, 96. We gained 15 members, and I'm sure that by next year, we will have 100 or more members and be able to be a true Impact 100 organization. At this point, we've given out just about $575,000 to different organizations in St. Lucie County. I'm very proud of that.
Well, you need to be. You need to be, because that's something to be proud of. And I like how you went from 70 members, after COVID, and then you back up now and you gain and you're up to 96. That's very admirable. Gaining and moving forward is always good. Now, I heard you say about how you get to be a member and everything has to be approved and blah, 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 blah. I don't need to know what the costs or whatever, but what do you look for in the women who come to you? I like, as women, we're stronger together, because there's no question in my mind that that's true. But what are the admirable qualities and traits that you look for in the members who come to you who are able to become a member? What are some of the qualities that you look for? Because I'm certainly admiring all of the things that you do. So what are some of those qualities?
All of our members are very generous, giving women who want to make a difference in the county, who we know St. Lucie County has a terrible need, and it's getting worse as the years go by, not better. So our women are all just very generous. In addition to the membership fee, we have socials, and we have what we call Give Back Saturdays, our volunteer days, where we volunteer with different nonprofits. So we get to know them and really, and work with them. Our members are a very diverse group. They are different ages, different socioeconomic levels, different religions. they just want to help. They're a great group of women. At our celebration this past Saturday, we had a number of guests and who were interested in finding out more about us. And I definitely but are joining. We know that already. And we have 5 or 6 others who are looking into joining. They were just very impressed by the group and by the women who were there, who are just very friendly and welcoming. So it's a wonderful organization. It is $1,100 to join. $1,000 of that goes to the grant, and $100 of that goes to the Community Foundation Martin St. Lucie. They're our fiscal agent. They do a tremendous amount of work for us during the year. And we do have an installment plan to help women who maybe can't write that check all at once, but can write a $275 check 4 times a year.
Well, I think that's good, especially, Janet, in this time with everybody waiting to see what's going to be with the election. And we're not going to talk there. But I heard you say something that I want to see and hear more from you, the vast, or maybe I'm using the wrong adjective, difference between Port St. Lucie, which I am here with you living in the lovely, beautiful, absolutely exquisite Port St. Lucie, because that's how we feel about it. But why is there more, or is there more of a terrific need here for Impact 100 than in other places? What are some of the crying needs here now for Port St. Lucie?
It's not just Port St. Lucie, it's St. Lucie County, including Fort Pierce as well. It's the whole county. There are needs for, we have homelessness, we have people losing their homes and then not being able to afford finding other homes, either for purchase or even rentals. Our grant last year went to Mustard Seed Ministries and to help their clients stay in their homes. And these are families who, through no fault of their own, were facing eviction. And so that's where our grant went last year. There's one of our finalists this year was ARC of the Treasure Coast. Deals with families and adults and children with special needs. There is nothing for these families in St. Lucie. There is in Stewart, there is in Fort Pierce. They were one of our finalists. The group that won was a group called Better Together. They got our $96,000 grant. They are relatively new. I think they started here in 2015, and they're all over the state of Florida. It's not, but the Port St. Lucie branch is looking for more. They look for volunteers through different churches to take children in whose families are in crisis, so these children don't have to go into the state foster care program. Their goal is to eliminate the foster care system, which would be a great thing. I'm a guardian at Litem, so I work with a lot of foster children. I would love to see that happen. So there's just so much need in different areas.
Yeah, thank you for qualifying that. And most everything that you said, Janet, it applies most everywhere today throughout more or less Florida, East or West Coast, because of the tornado and the horrific hurricane that we went through. And in conjunction with that, the homelessness and everything else that you mentioned. And I'm glad that you qualified it. And you also mentioned a group and association that I'm quite familiar with, Mustard Seed. And one of the questions that I had for you is this grant that you give out every year. How do people vie in to become available or up for receiving it? And I think you explained that, but could you give us a little bit more about, I've heard about the people and the need here in the St. Lucie County community, but what do people have to do to be able to vie for this grant that you give out every year? They send you, or they send in some kind of form and tell you what they do. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Community Foundation, once we have established the amount of the grant for a given year, the Community Foundation sends out a letter to all of the nonprofits who are registered with them in St. Lucie County and invites them to apply for the grant. It starts with letters of intent, which I just basically call shortened applications. They come in, the grant review committee goes over them and decides which programs they want to hear more about. And those programs, those agencies are asked for full applications. And then we go through the full applications. And again, we rate them, we discuss them, and come out this year. I think we started with 25, if I'm not mistaken, letters of intent. And we brought it down to 10 applications. And then we had 5 semifinalists and then 3 finalists. So there's a lengthy review process, but all nonprofits are invited. And sometimes I hear of newer nonprofits and I tell them, call the community foundation and get on our list. They must be a nonprofit that's been in existence for at least 3 years before they apply. They also have to have a charity rating on, and I'm forgetting the name. It used to be Charity Navigator and it's been changed, but they have to have a rating on Charity Navigator or its replacement in order to apply for the grant. And then after the grant is awarded, we also have follow-ups, and we make sure that they are complying with what they said they were going to use the money for, and that's being used properly.
Well, Janet, that was a great, vivid, graphic, very clear description of what's entailed. So I have one question for you. And by the way, how the name that you gave, it's throughout St. Lucie County. Better Together, what a great name, because you're about community. Yes. So am I. Most anybody who's in leadership is about building a strong, solid community. So Better Together, you can't do anything alone. That's a given. But so many people, for whatever reason, they might think that they can. But is there a committee from 25 to 10 to 5 and then the finalists of 3? How do you get, is it, you have 96 members, all 96 are on the board or on the committee to do all of this? No. How many are on your committee?
This year we had 11 women on the committee. We do a maximum of 12. You know, you really want enough to have a good discussion and different opinions, but you don't want to have so many that you get bogged down. So 12 is our maximum, and we had 11 this year. And what we do is we have 4 executive committee members, which is our board. We call it the executive committee. We had 4 members who have done this in the past, and then we ask for 4 new members. So we have a cross-section of people, and I have a lot of interest, but when it comes down to it and we publish the dates of the meetings, then people are like, oh, I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can do it. So as I said, we wound up with 11, but it was a good cross-section.
I love that. And I understand exactly what you said, because I think we all have this issue when it comes down to the bottom line and what you have to do. It's how available are you? How much of a commitment can you make to us to be able to get this finished and done? So I like that. Exactly. I tell you, you brought up a key word for me, Janet, and I know it is for you too. And you alluded to it a wee bit in the beginning, and I'd like it if you could speak to it a wee bit more. The diversity of your members and why, and I think we might already, most of us know the why, but why is that diversity of members so important for Impact for 100 and any other community diversity?
I think it's very important because our members represent the community and the population of the community. And I think it's important for cultural reasons. And I think it's important for fairness reasons. And we really are very proud of the fact that we are such a diverse group. In fact, when we were founded, I remember the founding members, the organizing members saying that we were one of the most diverse Impact 100 organizations in Florida at the time. And we are still very, very diverse. So we are very proud of that.
And you also mentioned the importance of friendship. Now, we've alluded and spoke to that in so many different ways, but the importance of friendship. One of the reasons that I came to you and that we are connected is through an association that I met and a connection, maybe 5 to 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she, I don't think, is still a part of your community,
Yes.
but she is good. I didn't want to say her name in case, but she introduced me to your community. And I think she's gone on to do some great work and still being a part of your community. So you spoke to it in so many different ways, Janet, but I love the way you clarify things. Again, I'm going to ask my engineer to put up your graphic because she's scrolling across your information, but I want that graphic to be up so that we can take a screenshot or a snapshot, because Impact 100, St. Lucie, Women Are Stronger Together, that's a given, but it's all of St. Lucie County. And I want everybody to take a screenshot or a snapshot. You're invited to take a screenshot or a snapshot, because this is how you're going to connect with Janet. And if you're not the one who could be at this point in time to get that 96 up to 100 and over, you might know of someone who would be a powerful, impactful member of this group. So Janet, how does the importance of friendship and all of that tie in for you? Because that's how I came to you, through this member that I met who 5 to 7 years ago mentioned this group. I interviewed her at the very beginning of my beginning to do all of this, beginning of my beginning. I love the way I'm redundant in words. And she mentioned this group. And then I met another lovely young lady in one of my favorite stores here in Port St. Lucie, Publix. So you have these members who are constantly doing PR work, not even aware of it, but it's stuck in my craw, and that's why we're together. So again, share with us a little bit more about the importance of friendship and how important it is to get women to come and join and connect with you to be a part of this wonderful community.
Absolutely. It's interesting. We've tried different ways to increase our membership. I go out to different events. There's a networking luncheon I go to every month. We talked about doing a mailing, but I think almost every member that we have joined because a friend brought them in. So it's these personal connections that really are making a difference for us. In PGA Village, last year, we had 25 members. One of the members said, we should be able to get more here. I'm going to have a get together. And she invited every one of those 25 members and asked them to bring 3 or 4 friends. It didn't, we didn't have, obviously, but we got 10 new memberships out of that. So now PGA Village, we have 35 members instead of 25. But it's the importance of friendship and friends bringing in others. If anyone is interested in joining us, you can go to our Facebook page. I just saw our website rolled past, which is impact100slc.org. You can email me. It's www.mrsjfuch@gmail.com. I would love to talk to you. I really cannot tell you how much I enjoy talking about this organization. I think it's a wonderful organization and a much needed organization. So, and we love our friends as much as our members. So we have more friends on our email list than members, people who are really interested, who come to our volunteer days, come to our socials, but just financially at the moment cannot join us. So our friends, so even if you like what we do, but you're not interested or you can't join us, let me know and I'll put you on the email list and you can hear all of our information and what we do.
Janet, thank you. I'm smiling from ear to ear because you gave the key here, the personal connection. Even today with this wonderful technology that most of us really, really love, that personal connection is everything. Thank you for that. My engineer is going to put you in the green room. You've given us lots of jewels here to work with and to consider, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Thank you ever so much. My heart to yours. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Friends, I cannot tell you how powerful her information was. The technology, that's a different story. We can only control so much. But the ending that she gave us, this personal connection is everything. Instant society we're in, the Insta, I call it. And technology has taken over. I love it. Most likely you do as well. And we're here 99% of the time. I'm exaggerating to make a point. But the truth is, personal connections are everything. Friends, this is the beginning of a new week. Make it one of the best weeks ever. From my heart to your heart, much, much love always. Embrace, embody, and cherish it because it's genuine, it's real. The buzzword for 2023, it's authentic. Enjoy the week, my friends. Much love. Cheers.